Okay, let's start. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special event. I'm very happy to see you all. I'm now sitting in the car in the middle of Netanya because that's where I've been catched. But because for the first time, I actually had a real event that I was invited today. We created this really special event that is coming to you from, you can say, 4 different locations. So I'm really excited to announce it and invite you. For me, this event is actually symbolizing the day, the 9 of Av. And the 9 of Av, we need to find the ways to be together, to spread the love and not the hate. Find the common places that we can be together. And today, in my eyes, it's unbelievable. It's a dream come true. I would say that Itamar, like always, was pushing to different directions. Gadi and Marco came into that, and we have basically something that we're presenting to you and bringing to you, some kind of an experience, completely new to the virtual touring and to virtual experiences. And today we're gonna have 4 people that gonna, like, I'm just saying those words, but I want you to understand what is coming. So we have Marco Messino that is working as an amazing tour guide and knowing all the hidden spots of Rome, an expert on the Jewish stories of Rome. And he's with us live from the Titus Gate. And I will not say any more words, it's just by itself amazing. We have Gadi Bendov, an unbelievable tour guide that made the way, and he's in the Davidson Center, gonna show us in a real life the destruction of the temple that's symbolizing this day. Itamar, that is really at the end, it's all a production. It's like a TV production. Itamar is sitting there and moving the cameras, spotlighting the different locations, and coordinating it together in the background. On top of that, it's also, he's by himself an amazing tour guide, and he's going to show and share visuals and the stories. So I want to pass it forward to Itamar to run it, and I'm so happy to see you all here. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I'm so excited about that. So let's go.
I still have people coming in, but no worries. So again, thank you for everyone that make this event happen. Clearly you, Benny, and Julia and Shelly in your office, and many others that helped us. Of course, Nina and Marco in Rome, and Gadi at the Western Wall. So just to give you a little flavor of what we are going to do today, we called this from Jerusalem to Rome and back, because this is exactly what we're going to do today. So let me just share my screen for just 1 second. You can see right now we're on the Temple Mount, and this is of course the location of the temple. And from here we're gonna simply jump. Okay, prepare yourself for some jumping, and we are going to jump simply like that. We're going to tell the story of the destruction of Jerusalem and the exile of the Jewish people from Jerusalem and Judea. And then we are going to simply fly away to across the Mediterranean. So we're going to fly across the Mediterranean and get all the way to ancient Rome, the ancient part of Rome. Let's see why it's takes a little slow, but here we are. So this is where we're heading, above Greece, and We have Nina and Marco waiting for us in Italy, Rome. So that's where we're going to land. Just over here. Heading to Rome. I don't know if you had the chance to be in Rome, amazing city. Be sure to take our friend Marco for your next visit. So the circle that you see right in the middle over here, this is the Colosseum, which we're going to see in a moment. And Marco is sitting under Titus Gate just over here. You can see it, the arch just over here. So this is what we are going to do today. And before I hand it over to Gadi, to our friend Gadi, I'll just say a few words. I'm going to share my screen now for just another little quick set of pictures. We still have people coming in, which is very good, very nice. Here we are. Oh, more people. Wow, that's really amazing. So the 9th of Av, we have this painting that shows the scales. One city is Rome on one side, and on the other city we have Jerusalem. It's coming from an ancient saying in the Talmud that Caesarea and Jerusalem cannot coexist. Caesarea is representative of ancient Rome. So we're going to see a little bit of the Western Wall. That's how it looks in normal days, right? The children are happy. We have bar mitzvahs, soldiers are swearing in. This is from one of the holidays, of course. This is the Ethiopian Jews. Now we see the Hasidic Jews celebrating at the wall. That's how it looked like last Passover. And of course, all the archaeological sites, such as the City of David and the Western Wall tunnels, this is all waiting for you next time you'll come here. This is from the 9th of Av last year. You can see how it's packed. Of course, it doesn't look anything like that today. This lady, I took this picture of her wearing a sack, again, mourning for the destruction of the temple. And this is for this part. I want to hand it over to Gadi. He's waiting for us at the Davidson Center. So Gadi, Gadi, can you open? And
can you guys see me, hear me? Come on, give me a thumbs
here
up.
we are, here we are. I just want to spotlight you, and let's, guys, meet Gadi. He's going to tell us the part of the Western Wall that he's in.
Yofi. Shalom, y'all. Welcome to Jerusalem. My name is Gadi Ben Dov. I'm a tour guide. I live not too far from here, and I'm very excited for this opportunity to share with all of you where we're standing. Today, as you understand already, is an important day in the Jewish tradition, the 9th of the month of Av, and it symbolizes for us a watershed point in the history of our people, because it's the day that the temple was destroyed. And it's not just symbolized the essence of Judaism, it's really the issue that our center of our religion, the center of our life, was destroyed. And if you look, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Right behind me, you can see a pile of these big stones, these big rocks. That is, we believe, to be part of the continuation of the wall that was farther up above me. So some of you might be thinking to themselves, wait a minute, I've been to the Western Wall, and this is not quite the way it looked before. You've seen the pictures, and you're right. This is not the traditional place where you usually come and visit. That's farther up in that direction. I'll turn around a bit so you can see. If we went through this walkway behind me, we'd be in the women's section of the Western Wall. But here we're standing in an area known as Robinson's Arch. Unfortunately, Robinson's Arch is under reconstruction over there with the all of the construction back there. But it's named after an American archaeologist that has discovered this arch, or a little piece of it, that he believed, and today we know is probably true, is part of the temple built by King Herod somewhere in the neighborhood of between 15 and 4 BCE, before the Common Era, or BC. And there's some argument whether or not he actually finished completed the temple when he was still alive. But the bottom line is that this temple was the most glorious temple or building in the Roman Empire. People were talking about it all around the Roman Empire. In fact, Herod was boasting about that. He promised his benefactor in Rome, the Emperor Augustus, also known as Octavius, that he will glorify him by building the most beautiful building. And that is probably, according to what scholars believe, also what got to or really convinced the Romans to decide to destroy it. Because when you think about it, if we go back to a few days before the 9th of Av, the year is 70 AD or CE, Common Era or AD. The rebellion of the Jews starts in 66, 4 years earlier in the north, in the Galilee. A group of 4 legions, Roman legions, come down to crush the rebellion. The leader of the rebellion is a guy named Joseph, son of Mattathias, who later on loses to the Romans. He turns himself over to the Romans, changes his name to Flavius Josephus, and becomes the Roman News Network correspondent in the Middle East, embedded with the Roman troops as they're crushing the Jewish rebellion, and in 4 years making their way to the center of the Jewish people, to Jerusalem. And they put a siege on the city, and after about 3 weeks to a month of a siege, the city folds, the Romans come in, and on the 9th of the month of Av, they are able to take over the Temple Mount.
On the 9th of Av, they were able to take over the Temple Mount?
The 9th of Av, they took over the area and destroyed the temple, yes. So the temple is being destroyed. Now, back then, they did not have dynamite to destroy a building. So they set fire to it. There's actually a story, I believe it's in Josephus, basically describing a Roman soldier from the 10th Legion that takes over this area, who on his own accord decides to throw a torch to the Holy of Holies and to the building of the temple, and it sets fire. This is made out of limestone. So limestone, when it's very, very hot, starts to crack, and the building starts to collapse. Now, the Romans did not stop at that. They actually started pushing down the big building blocks from the top. If you look behind me, we believe that the wall was probably as high as that cypress tree that you see behind me. Most of it was knocked down. And as I said, you can see behind me some of the rubble of the building blocks that were pushed down and destroyed much of the street below. Now, it's said in the Talmud that the temple was destroyed not because of the Romans, but because of unnecessary hatred, sinat chinam, and unnecessary hatred between the Jews, because there were Jews who said we should capitulate to the Romans and we should let them into Jerusalem because that way we will save the city and save our temple. Don't forget that 500 years earlier, or 580 years earlier, the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians in a similar situation. By the way, we believe also that temple was destroyed on the 9th of the month of Av. And there were others, the Zealots, who said, no way we should surrender to the Romans. We should fight to the last minute and to the last arrow and to our last life that's available to defend our holy city of Jerusalem and our holy temple. And those Zealots, 1 minute, and
okay, sure.
Those Zealots actually set fire to all of the food storage in Jerusalem, basically not allowing the siege to continue because the defenders inside ran out of food and the Romans were able to break down the walls and come inside. One last quick moment, if you see behind me, right over here, you can see these windows. Those are shops where it's believed by some archaeologists and historians that is where Jesus overturned the money changers' tables, because remember, this is the temple that Jesus came to visit, which makes it important for the Christians as well. Thank you for joining
Fantastic.
me from wherever you are in the world. Itamar, back to you.
Thank you, and stay with us. We're moving to Rome, guys, to Marco. We're going now to Rome. Thank you, Marco and Nina, for being with us. I'm going to spotlight you guys, and we want to hear all about.
Hi.
Hey, hi, Nina. We just saw the destruction of Jerusalem, and now we see what happens just a few years later in Rome. So handing it over to you, Marco.
Hi, good morning to everybody. You cannot imagine how excited I am too. It's never happened to me to do this kind of connection. And I wanted to share with you one of the questions that usually my tourists, they do to me all the time that I go here in front of the artists. They say, Marco, are you not boring all the time to say the same things? And I say to my people, to my guests, every day for me is a new revenge. So you cannot imagine how happy I am to come here and to show to everybody that my community still live in Rome after more than 2,000 years. And let's get closer and let me explain to you a few more things. Follow me, please.
Yes.
Just a second, I'm getting closer.
No problem.
Guys, can you see behind me the Arch of Titus?
Yeah, wow.
Great. Now, we all know that Titus destroyed the temple in 70 CE. When he brought the Jews in Rome, he used them as slaves to build the Colosseum. He used all our gold, our money, and the arch was built by his brother in 82 CE. Titus, he died 1 year before in 81, and he built his arch on his honor. This is the reason why we never pass through the arch. You know why, guys? Because if we go under, it's like we give an honor to the emperor that he destroyed our temple, and we cannot do this. Except one time we did. We marched from the Jewish quarter to celebrate the independence of Israel, and we passed through this arch, but in one condition. Do you know how, guys? We marched backward. We finally back home. And as probably you know, the Jews arrived in Rome even before the destruction of the temple to look an agreement with the Romans against the Syrian king Antiochus. And this is the time when we established in Rome. And recent, in 1961, during the excavation outside of the city of Rome, we found a synagogue, which is in Ostia. And this is the only synagogue in all of Europe which doesn't face to Jerusalem. The reason why, it's because it was built before the destruction of the temple. So we live in Rome continuously for more than 2,200 years, more or less. Let me give you a few details about the Arch of Titus. Can you see over there the menorah? First of all, the menorah have a big base, and probably we know that the base was headed by the Romans, because the real one, according to Rambam or some other rabbis, was triangular. But I'm not talking about the shape of the menorah. I'm talking about the base. The base have a lot of pictures, and all the pictures are pagan, nothing to do with us. So probably the base was headed by the Roman to make it stable and to carry here. Then we can see to the right-hand side the golden table, the Shulchan Lechem Panim, and the trumpets, the Chatzatzrot. And I wanted to tell you that all the people that you see carrying our spoils are not the Jews, are the Romans. How do we know that? Thanks to Stephen Fine, that few years ago, he found that all the pigment color left in the Arch of Titus, because the Arch of Titus was painted, guys. And this is how it used to look like. All the people wearing the green laurel leaf are the Romans. Can you see? And this is how the arch used to look like. In the other side of the arch, please, Nina, come here. Can you point the other side? We can see the Emperor Titus that is coming back to the city of Rome, and he celebrates the destruction. And upstairs, there is a big eagle, which is the symbol of the empire, with the face of Titus, likes to telling us, I'm still watching to you. So guys, this is a very important document about the archer, about the Jewish history. But recent, we found that other important things. For example, in the second floor of the Colosseum, there is a big stone which proved the destruction of the temple. We found that a lot of coins with the palm tree left hand side, a Roman soldier standing, and to the right hand side, a Jewish lady that she cried, and surrounded there is the inscription, Judea Captor. We found a helmet to Jewish gladiator with a palm tree. So we have a lot of documentation, which I'm so happy to share with you once you come to Rome. Guys, I'm so happy to tell you this day that Am Israel Chai, and there is a rabbi that a few years ago, he came here in the middle of the night when he was in Rome, he couldn't sleep. He came in front of the Arch of Titus and he told him, Tito, Tito, where are you? I'm telling you, Bevrit, איפה אתה, ואיפה אנחנו? אנחנו עדיין פה, עם ישראל חי. Thank you to everybody. I hope to see you soon in Rome.
Amen. Okay, wow, thank you very much. Marco, thank you very much for that. I'm going to add a few little points to what Marco just showed us and use basically the information he gave us, and what he was talking about. This coin that he was talking about is the coin of Judea Capta. You can see it. I shared my screen right now, so you can actually see that. And you can see the Roman soldier on one side, and the woman, Judea described, the Jews, the Jewish nation described as a widow or some kind of a lady on the street. So that's what you see over here, Judea Capta. That's the coin they minted, again, to humiliate the Jewish people. I'll just say that the tension that was going on in Judea, I'm showing you a few pictures from Caesarea, was rising all over, during the decades before the destruction in the first century CE. A lot of pagan worshippers all over Judea, theater. We had colosseums in Judea as well, where people were massacred just for entertainment. So all of that together led to the destruction. In Caesarea, we have a place called the Synagogue of the Revolt, the Synagogue of the Rebellion. In Hebrew, it's called, in Aramaic, it's called Kanista Mardata. Mardata means rebellion. So this is the name of this synagogue. It exists. We know that the revolt started here. And as my friend Gadi just mentioned, the 10th Legion Fretensis, with other 3 legions, the estimated power, the estimated number of soldiers was 50 to 60,000 soldiers. They left us marks. What you see over here is Fretensis. That's the name of the 10th Legion. We have inscriptions of the 10th Legion all over the country, especially in Jerusalem area, and a few other places in the desert. So that's the 10th Legion. And the amazing part is that the symbol of the 10th Legion was the wild boar. So a non-kosher animal that destroyed the temple in Jerusalem. Gadi, I'm handing it over to you. If you can say a few words about the different traditions. I'm going to spotlight Gadi, just 1 second. You can say a few words about the customs and traditions of Tisha B'Av, and then I'll add a few more pictures to it. Where is Marco? He's muted. Gadi, can you hear us?
Okay, yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Wait, I'm just looking for you. Yeah, here you are. Very good. Yes, I'm spotlighting you. Very good.
Okay, so you can see behind me, I went to the Western Wall Plaza, and you can hear behind me there's some singing. Because of the COVID-19, there's people sitting in groups, in pods, essentially. I'll try to get a little bit closer so you can actually hear some of the singing.
Oh, wow, yes, we can hear it.
So it's traditional to come to the Western Wall on the evening of Tisha B'Av, which was yesterday, but because of the heat, this is a good opportunity to do so as well. We read from the Book of Lamentations, sing some songs, and as I think Itamar mentioned before, there's also a fast that starts in the evening before for the 24 hours marking the destruction of both temples. Itamar, it's very
yes,
noisy.
I will add to it. Beside of the fasting, of course, no one. We're not allowed to take showers. We are not allowed to, let's say, delicate our body with lotions, etc. Let's just. Yes. Okay. You can see me now, I believe. And we're not allowed to wear leather shoes. Only like simple sandals made like Crocs or any other flip-flops. Many people don't sit on chairs. Basically, we're not allowed to sitting on a chair is let's say remarks a happy occasion. So usually people sit on the floor. I'm again sharing my PowerPoint here with you. I want to show you a few pictures that I took just yesterday. This is from just yesterday. Add to that. Oh, no, where is that? Sorry about that. Jumped here. Here we are. So this is from my neighborhood, what I'm showing you now. So people are sitting on the ground, on the floor. We're not allowed to smell any perfumes. And I think the hardest thing is that we're not allowed to study Torah, okay? So what these people are doing here, this is a synagogue in my neighborhood, a few synagogues. Over there again, you can see everyone is outside of the synagogue because of COVID, but everyone is on the ground because of Tisha B'Av. So it turned out to be a very fascinating and interesting moment in Israel's history that people not only can't pray in the synagogues, they have to sit on the ground. So quite very unusual, I would say. But as I said, the hardest thing is that the rabbis told us, do not study the Torah on Tisha B'Av, because studying the Torah is a happy thing. Intellectually, there are many prophecies that are good. It symbolizes the connection between Israel and God. So what is the message of these rabbis when they told us do not study the Torah? It's basically like sit silent, because we're grieving, we're mourning, basically. So that's, I think, the hardest part of Tisha B'Av that I was always struggling with. The fast is not very difficult, even in the summer. It's not too bad, at least for me. But the hardship is not to study the Torah. So the next thing that I'm going to point out, where is that? Why can't I? Here we are. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with a picture from the Independence Day of 1948. You can see Titus Gate. That's exactly what our friend Marco just pointed out. Oh, no. Here, I'm really struggling for some reason. I don't know why, but here you can see the picture right now. You can see Titus Gate just over here in the middle of the screen. This is again from the late 40s, and the Jews of Rome celebrating the Independence Day. Okay, Marco, do you want to add anything for the Colosseum? Do you want to add anything?
With pleasure. I'm getting closer. Look.
Oh, okay, very good. Thanks.
Can you see me, guys?
Yes.
Just behind me, there is the Colosseum. The Colosseum was built in 71 CE, and it took about 8 years to build it. We know that the Romans brought from our temple close to 50,000 kilograms of gold. And of course, they used all the gold that they melted in order to build this big amphitheater, which the capacity was about 75,000 spectators. And recent, we discovered if the Roman Jews were allowed to go in and watch the gladiator fights. One rabbi, he says, of course you can't because they kill each other. There is a lot of images inside, so you definitely cannot. Another rabbi, he says, you know, in Rome there is more than 10% of the entire population, and a lot of Jews were gladiators. I'm not mentioning to you Rish Lakish because you didn't food in Rome, but in Rome for sure used to be a lot of Jewish gladiator because we found a helmet with a, sorry, with the palm trees and other symbolism. So the rabbi says, you definitely have to go to watch the gladiator fight because if the Jewish one die, you can be witness that he really died and his wife, she can remarry. Shelotie aguna.
Yes.
Of course, there is much more to tell you about the Colosseum. There is a lot of details. Look, here you can see the side that collapsed in 1349 because we had in Rome a huge earthquake. Why the south side collapsed? Because it's the one exposed to the sun. And you can even see from here, there is the sun to the south side and the shade to the northern side. The fight was almost every day in the beginning. And then when they realized that it was really expensive to set up everything and to manage, they did it 3 times in a year to celebrate any new conqueror, the emperor birthday, and the pagan holiday, which were December and January. Let's get closer in case you want to see some other detail. And then I will leave you. And I hope you enjoy my connection.
Absolutely. Marco, as you walk, I'm just showing them the inscription in the Colosseum that was found back in the 90s that indicates the fact that the amphitheater of Rome, the new amphitheater of Rome, was built from the spoil of war. So this is an inscription that back in the 90s, they discovered that. You can see 2 things. You can see the written Latin word, okay? But you can also see the marks of the nails. You see that? The marks of the nails. This is actually the indication. They managed to figure out what were the letters, the bronze letters that were attached to this inscription, and that's how they realized that that's the inscription. The Amphitheatrum Novum was built from the spoil of war. The Amphitheatrum is the Colosseum. Handing it over to you, Marco.
I want to show you, I don't know if you can see the helmet that now is in the Archaeology Museum in Naples. Can you see the helmet with the palm tree? If you count the branches, they are 7. So they remind the number of the menorah, you know, the number of the branches. Now, you can see behind me the Colosseum. Of course, there is so much more to tell you, but once you are in Rome, I'm going to give you all the information about us in order of chronology. There is a lot to know. Guys, I wish you all the best and kol tuv to everybody.
Okay, thank you, thank you. What an honor. Okay, so we're about to conclude our tour. So again, thank you, Marco. I just want to show you a few last pictures.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will share my screen right now. And I want to show you that there is hope after all. I'm reading to you now a few verses from the book of Zechariah. Again, was written 2,700 years ago. He says, once again, men and women of ripe old age will sit in the streets of Jerusalem, each of them with cane in hand because of their age. The city streets will be filled with boys and girls playing there. It may seem marvelous to the remnant of these people at that time, but will it seem marvelous to me, declares the Lord Almighty. I will save my people from the countries of the east and the west. I will bring them back to live in Jerusalem. They will be my people, and I will be faithful and righteous to them as their God. So I want to show you a few nice pictures from the last few years that I took. Children playing in the streets of Jerusalem. And I think this prophecy was fulfilled after a very long exile. You can take a look. We can see the children playing again in the streets of Jerusalem. And I think that this is the more optimistic note for our tour. So if you have any questions, either for me. Gadi is still with us. If you want to ask anything, please, you can write. You can always write in the chat. But right now, because we're almost done, you can also open your microphone. So just go ahead and let's hear it. Yes, my friends, don't be shy. Benny, maybe you want to say something.
So, can everybody see me?
I will spotlight you. Just 1 second. Here you are. Spotlight. There you go.
So first of all, I really want to thank the team. It's a dream. I was watching. I've been a tourist. It's unbelievable. But I also want to talk to everybody that joined. Please, those people are really now, tourism is not back. By mistake, I had 4 people that I took to the Judean desert today. But any help that you can create or give, tips are common in that kind of business. Please help with, and I'm telling you, we're creating more and more content. As you can see, we're crossing borders, and that's exactly where we want to be. I want to thank big thank you for Itamar, for Marco, for Gadi, everybody that's been in the field to create this special event for 9 of Av. I love to see all the people that joined us. I want to wish you love, a free love, and big hugs from Israel. So Israel and Italy. So grazie mille, and thank you, toda rabba. And if there are questions, we're here to answer.
Yes, we'd love that.
So somebody is asking how all of you meet each other. So we're all colleagues. My company, Led Travel, is doing tours to Israel for about 11 years. This year, we actually opened Greece and Italy with another partner of mine, Benny Ben Israel. I don't know if he's here. He knows Italy like the back of his hand. And when we came up with this dream that came up from Itamar, he had something like this in mind for Tisha B'Av. It all came into place, you know, unbelievably, but miracles are happening. So we all know each other, and really to Leshana Abba Yerushalayim.
Amen. Thank you, Benny.
Amen.
Thank you, Marco. It was such a pleasure to hear you.
My pleasure, really. It was a dream for me too.
I'm sending you a big hug from Jerusalem, and you can see I have a Torah case right on my shoulder, you see? Yes, anyone else? Gadi, where are you? Disappeared.
I am back by
Jaffa Gate?
Jaffa Gate, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Jaffa Gate and the Tower of David. You can see the Tower of David or the David Citadel behind me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been walking for the last few minutes. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll see you in Israel very soon.